In today's news, Auditor General's special report concludes that Claude Cline's consultancy added zero value to the government. At Elmhurst High School Career Day Expo, 1,000 jobs in 1,000 days initiative failed. Only 17% of applicants hired during period. And Cindy calls for Premier's resignation. Well, viewers, these and more stories. 284 News return. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy. Well, welcome viewers to the Tuesday, February 21st edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes. Well, thank you viewers for joining us. While leading today's news, the special report of the Auditor General on Claude Cline's contracts under the Andrew Foy-led Virgin Islands Party government has concluded that the purpose of his consultancy was not to add value to the government, but rather to provide employment for Cline. The purpose of the investigation was for the Auditor General to provide independent information and advice on whether efficiency, economy, and effectiveness were achieved from the award and payment of contracts engaging Claude Cline from the period March 25, 2019 to September 17, 2021. The conclusion from the investigation, which was seen in the report by 284 News, is alarming as it highlights several failed areas of Cline's contracts during his more than 2 years of employment. What the report said, and I quote, "After a period of 2.5 years, none of the initiatives stipulated in the 3 contracts have been delivered. Similarly, none of the ad hoc, non-contractual assignments have been realized. This is with the exception with the COVID-19 related initiatives that were self-determining. Substantial reports and information were received only where the consultant was assigned as a part of a committee or working group, but these documents were usually prepared by other members of those bodies, as was the case with the supporting documents for the Seafarers Program and the report issued by the Economic Advisory Council," end quote. But the Auditor General also found that the records did not show any demonstrated effort by Cline to actually satisfy the deliverables stipulated in his contracts. What the report said, and I quote, "The audit confirmation exercises performed indicate that much of the work reported or claimed by the consultant was undertaken by persons and programs independent of the consultancy. In a number of cases, his association with the programs was either fleeting or non-existent. The information in the consultant's periodic reports was largely duplicated without demonstrating any advancement or effort to achieve progress. As a result, very little was achieved from this arrangement, and the government failed to receive value for money on these contracts," end quote. Well, finally, the Auditor General concluded that the Premier's office failed to adhere to the procurement regulations for competitive submissions for contracts, which resulted in the government incurring substantial costs with no gains. But the Auditor General also pointed to evidence where Cline's subsequent contracts were of lesser value than the previous. She said this suggested that the government was aware that the value was not being achieved from the arrangement. She said, and I quote, "It also created a disservice to other citizens who might be more properly qualified and more able to deliver the specific initiatives contained in the contract," end quote. She continued, "The government would have been better served by establishing different think tanks or other mechanisms to address the areas identified under the 3 contracts, but this would have availed to the process to expert input and presented actionable results," end quote. Well, earlier today, our team joined students of the Elmhurst High School for the return of the school's career exposition, where the activity offers a unique opportunity for students to gain insight into the world of work and what opportunities are available to them in the Virgin Islands. Well, a cross-section of businesses from the territory were present that day, as well as students from other high schools who were invited to participate. They spoke with the Elmer Stout High School counselor Amy Gordon for preliminary feedback on the execution of the Expo.
I am so elated, and this is actually what we were intending, that our students receive as much information as possible on careers, and they're having a wonderful time at it, which is also what we intended. So yes, it's working out well. Even from businesses that students visited, they will come and ask a few questions, especially due to the fact that job training is coming up, and they may have had persons who came to their booth who are interested in real estate, so they want to know how we were making our choice. So, they came and they asked questions. So, yeah.
Well, business education teacher Tiffany Bruley echoed those same sentiments with focus on the value of networking students with businesses while allowing the participating businesses a look at the workforce of tomorrow.
I, for one, think that this is a very good initiative. I was very happy to see that it came back, because we used to have it some years ago and we stopped because of, different things, COVID, the hurricanes. But I was happy to see that we're bringing it back and that the students were so engaged. I've asked several of my students how they felt about it, and they're very happy. Several of them had filled out a few applications. They feel good. They're getting to know more of the businesses in their community and where they can make an impact. And the businesses are happy to be here as well, as they are getting to see fresh and at the beginning the first crop of students that's going to be coming out next. So they get to pick, the best of the best. As a business teacher, I think it's a very good thing for the business students, our students, because we all have to live in this world. They are going to need a job or to start their own business. So I think with them interacting with these businesses, it gives them a little glimpse into what would be expected from them. All right? Because when they're in class, they tend to think that, okay, it's going to be the same way when they get into the workforce. And coming out here and seeing persons working, seeing what they would have to do in a few short months for the grade 12 students, it gives them insight as to what is expected of them.
Well, one of the high traction booths today was our own 284 Media booth, where students were given a look into the world of work in the BVI's media landscape. But 284 Media manager Birch Letsom said he was impressed by the overwhelming interest expressed by students today. He also revealed that very soon, some budding media professionals will benefit from job training opportunities with 284 Media.
We had a ton of loads of students that came. Apparently, they do a great job at doing this on-camera thing, a little bit better than I can. They read some scripts, and we're trying to find, young media professionals. I spoke with a couple of people, students that are interested in being in media, not necessarily on camera. So I guess we have the both sides of that. Spoke to some students that have, other dreams outside of media as well. This one student that was like, hey, I want to be an athlete. I want to go to the Olympics. I want to do all these different things. So I'm like, great. After your 30-year passes, what are you going to do then? Can you come and be a media reporter? So it's been fun. It's been fun to see all the engagement. I actually thought that we'd have some more shy people. We're definitely looking for all of the media professionals or people that want to be the future media professionals. Even if they don't know what you want to do in the future, give it a try. It's a very fun thing. I happen to be a product of, it wasn't Elmo Stout at the time, it was the BVI High School at the time, and I happened to be a product of that. And I was a product of an entertainment start and a media start, so it's give it a try. You never know, it might be a lifelong career.
Well, in the coming months, students from the Elmer Stout High School are expected to emerge from the selection process, ready to take their first step into the workforce through the school's job placement program. Well, the 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days initiative, which was launched under the Virgin Islands Party government in 2019, only managed to employ 17% of the total registered applicants during the program's time period. Well, this stat was revealed in a special report of the Auditor General on Claude Cline's contracts under the Andrew Foy-led Virgin Islands Party government for the period of March 25, 2019 to September 17, 2021. According to the report, Cline was contracted to monitor planning and execution to ensure the delivery of 1,000 jobs in 1,000 days. But the report said, and I quote, "At the end of the period, a report was prepared by the Labor Department on the 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days program covering August 2019 to May 2022. But this showed that there were 1,145 job-seeking candidates registered and 194 placements, end quote. Well, in his first report, Cline expressed that he worked with the implementation team to launch the program and said he held discussions with energy company Power 52 on job placements and the H. Lavity Stout Community College for related training for the Anegada Renewable Energy Project. In addition, Cline said he obtained commitments from 4 major cruise lines for recruitment of Virgin Islanders aboard cruise ships. As it relates to Power 52, the Auditor General found that while training was provided, no employment resulted from the discussions during Cline's contracted tenure. On the Seafarer Initiative, which sought to create job opportunities on cruise liners for BV Islanders and belongers, an initial commitment of approximately 200 hires was made for entry-level positions by one of the cruise liners. But despite a policy and a legislation being drafted and passed in the House of Assembly, the progression was deemed as moderate, and the Auditor General found it was insufficient to generate any employment. Well, up next, Cindy calls for Premier's resignation and students report on March 5th remembrance. But these are more stories after a word from our sponsors.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR.
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back, viewers. Well, Cindy Roseanne has called for the resignation of Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, as she alleges that the summoning of officers to remove her from the Government Information Service office on Monday was at his personal request. Roseanne was among other members of the media on Monday afternoon when she was approached by a public officer who requested that she step out of the office's conference room. While other members of the press did observe requests for Roseanne to leave, no reason was given publicly by the public officer surrounding the need for her removal. However, Roseanne revealed that during a private conversation, she was informed by this public officer that it was a directive from the Premier.
She was trying to say to me that the Premier doesn't want me here. So I said to Desiree, can you present me with GIS policy? She said it hadn't been updated in a while. I said, well, I need to see it as of right now. Because if you're asking me to leave, I need to see the terms on which you're asking me to leave. Right? Is that fair?
Roseanne believes that this incident is evidence that she is being specifically targeted by the Premier, as in recent weeks she had attended other engagements at that same location with no issue. Roseanne criticized the Premier's behavior as a threat to democracy and free press in the Virgin Islands. She said that his actions that day follow empty legal threats.
A couple days before I was supposed to join the Total Radio media back, I was advised that the Premier doesn't want to have any questions to me. I received a letter in urgency from his lawyer, and I personally knew that it was to stop me from being on any platform that he's in, but he cannot make that decision. If you want to issue legal proceedings against me or Guavaberry Media, you go and you file something in the court. It goes through a process, a case is put forward to the judge, it's heard, and the judge makes a decision. So unless you can give me a court-issued judgment, GIS can issue their policy unedited as of the last press conference, because I was in the last press conference with the governor, then I'm going to sit here. And if they want to remove me, then they're gonna have to bring the police and just have me arrested so the territory can see how much of a threat Natalia Whitley is to democracy and free press in the Virgin Islands.
Rosen stressed that such attacks on the press do not bode well for the territory's promise of seeking transparency.
Just as a citizen, as a voter, even as a resident, that scares me, right? Because without democracy and transparency, and that's what we're fighting for, right? The governor sat there last week and he said that he's having a problem with the unity government in terms of the governance issues within the COI framework. So we're sitting here now, and the Premier doesn't want me in a press conference where the media is the middle person between the government or any issues going on and the people. And I'm not allowed to sit here as free press in a democracy and ask the Premier questions, because he thought that I shouldn't ask him questions that I asked him before. Well, then you should resign, because once you're sitting in the Premier's seat, the media and anybody, any voter, any resident has a right to ask you questions.
Well, she says that she has no personal issues with the Premier, but that her actions are in line with what she believes to be right with respect to transparency, democracy, and good governance in the Virgin Islands. Well, moving on, viewers, where as part of activities under the Twit4 Media tent at today's Career Day event, students from the territory's high schools tried their hand in reporting for our team. Well, today they presented a release from the government of the Virgin Islands on this year's plan for the 23rd commemorative remembrance celebration of the life of H. Lavity Stout.
H. Lavity Stout to be celebrated in 23rd commemorative March 5th remembrance. The government of the Virgin Islands continues to celebrate the life
of the late Honorable H. Lavity Stout, and will be observing the 23rd anniversary of this commemorative occasion on the 5th of March.
Mr. Stout, considered as one of the territory's greatest visionary leaders, will be remembered this year under the theme, Countryman Comes to Town, Keep the Vision Moving. Activities will include a church service at the Zion Hill Methodist Church
on Sunday, March 5th at 9:30 a.m., followed by the wreath-laying ceremony at the Capoons Bay Cemetery. The activities will continue on Monday, March 6th at the Elaine L. Parsons Auditorium at 10 a.m.
Assistant Secretary in the Premier's Office and Chairperson for the Planning Committee, Dr. Levon Chalwell-Bruley, is encouraging persons to attend this year's events as the committee seeks to take
a further look into the life of the late Chief Minister, which will be depicted through drama. The production will also showcase local talent through poetry, song, music, and dance. The late H. Lavity Stout was born.
The late H. Lavity Stout was born on March 7, 1929. He served as an elected representative consecutively from 1957
to 1995 and was the territory's fourth chief minister. He is credited with establishing the cruise ship pier, overseeing the construction of the Central Administration Complex, and spearheading
the development of the local community college, which is named in his honor. The government of the Virgin Islands celebrate the life of the late Honorable H. Lavity Stout as a person of
historical significance to the territory every year on the first Monday in March. The day is declared the public holiday in celebration of the
anniversary of the birthday of the territory's first Chief Minister, H. Lavity Stout, died on May 14, 1995.
Well, up next, VI airport development on front burner and Aaron Parillon seeking to represent District 3. But these stories when 284 News return.
Is someone going to get that?
Hello.
Hello. So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry. I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome back, viewers. Well, Minister for Communication and Works Honorable Kai Reimer has said that his ministry stands ready and committed to support every effort to enhance the system of airports in the territory. Well, more on this report.
Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai M. Reimer, has said that his ministry stands ready and committed to support every effort to enhance the system of airports in the territory. Honorable Reimer's comments come on the heels of the territory's participation in the recently held Airport Expansion Summit for Latin America and the Caribbean held in Florida, United States of America from February 7th to 10th. Honorable Reimer said, and I quote, "I am indeed thrilled that the VI was represented at this summit where the information gleaned will better equip the territory with the necessary tools to make sound decisions on the way forward as we take the necessary measured steps to develop and enhance the systems of airport in our territory." Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Theodore E. Burke, led a delegation including a Managing Director, Mr. Kurt Aminol, and Director of Finance, Mr. Elvis Harrigan, to the summit, which saw the attendance and participation of government officials, investors, airport management, and aviation professionals, architects, engineers, and consultants who engage in discussions on the most effective ways to approach airport expansion and development projects in Latin America and the Caribbean through varied financing and management models. Mr. Burke said the authority is keen to continue the groundwork for the proposed airport expansion and development project, and its participation in the summit did not only provide the team with the requisite tools to make better informed decisions, but also connected it to a network of experts who would provide assistance through the process. Mr. Burke also added, and I quote, "During the summit, we were able to interact with other airports who underwent expansion projects using various models as we seek to determine the best possible option for our own development project. These include public-private partnerships, government-funded and self-funded, who were able to share their reality of each method." The authority's delegation also engaged in informative sessions on the Miami International Airport Expansion Project, expansion of airports in the Caribbean region, airports of the future, and airport expansion through P3s with the expert directly involved in these projects. The team also participated in sessions on aeronautical infrastructure, airport design, financing and project management, sustainable development, implementation of PPs, budget best practices, and strategies, and PP policy and regulatory framework. Managing Director Mr. Kurt Minol shared that the team is revisiting the various studies and plans that were developed over the years for the proposed expansion project. He added, "We will be utilizing all the resources already available to us while simultaneously enhancing our servicing offers through the optimization of our current infrastructure. The intention is to develop the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport based on a roadmap for efficiently meeting aviation demand through the foreseeable future while preserving the flexibility necessary to respond to changing industry conditions." Following the summit, some members of the delegation also attended a session with the Airports Council International on legal considerations for airport construction projects. Now, this session discussed the main aspects of each stage of the project life cycle, from project definition to planning, design, construction, and handover. Director of Finance, Mr. Elvis Harrigan, said both sessions were very timely and informative and equipped the team with the relevant foundational knowledge to revitalize the airport expansion project and advise the ministry on a development option going forward. The expansion of the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport has been the subject of discussion for several years, and various studies and assessments have been undertaken to support the proposed project. The Ministry of Communications and Works and the BVI Airports Authority have shifted the focus from airport expansion to holistic airport development based on a master plan, which is a long-term guide to development that supports an airport's business and infrastructure development strategy. In the interim, the authority, in concept with related national development partners, will continually work to improve connectivity to the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport through the territory of a robust air service development program utilizing the current infrastructure.
Well, as the journey to elections 2023 continues, third district candidate Aaron Parillon is once again seeking to represent the residents of that district in the upcoming general elections. Well, in a recent episode of Umoja, Parillon addressed a number of issues affecting the district.
As it relates to the community on a whole, our community is just, it needs a breath of fresh air. It really needs a breath of fresh air because we've been under the same type of practices over quite some time. And we've become so nonchalant.
So the people, you feel like people, they don't care as much. Everybody just going along.
We're just going along.
Just drifting and
they're just going along. It's like walking in a factory. You just come, you punch your clock, you do what you gotta do, and you go. You come every day and it's you punch in and you punch out. But there's so much potential in the community because of our location right before or after the capital.
Well, he also addressed the need for leadership amongst young people and what exactly the youth are in need of.
Our young people are seeking leadership. And this is by no part of disrespect to the current representative, but the young people are seeking leadership in a sense of direction. You know, whatever plans are being formulated for the community, they felt that those plans have not involved them, and they're mostly just laid at the wayside. You know, only attended to the third quarter of every election cycle. 4 says at the beginning of the game.
Well, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John. I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.